Hello my beautiful people, and welcome to your weekly overview with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, hit that subscribe button. Help me hit that 40k mark. It's so close I can almost taste it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And there are still spaces left. I'm going to say it. There are still spaces left for Tribal Tuesday. I really believe in what I'm doing, guys. I really believe in it. And I would love to have all of you. Well, spaces are very limited and I'll only be running it once every 3 months. And that is the reason. So if you want a space on that, if you want to find out what it's all about, click the link in the description box below. So with that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for all of us, right? What is the overarching destiny for the world, and as a general overview. So that's what this overview is about. It's about world events. It's about the macrocosm, what happens on a larger or grand scale. What is the sort of almost like the tone of the energy for all of us over the course of the week. So let's have a look at the destiny card, and this week we get the Magician card, right? So we are all powerful creators this week. We are all standing in our faith, in our firmness. Interestingly enough, I had a dream last night about the media, about something happening in media. It was about more censorship, and it was actually about the battle between the sexes, right? So we've got this whole thing going on with the abortion and stuff. Power will be with the people this week. I guarantee you are going to see, and I said this last week as well, that the people would speak what their intentions were, what it is that they wanted, what it was that they agreed with. We're seeing that now. With the Destiny card as the Magician card, I feel like the way this is going to play out on the wider world stage this week is we are going to see the power of the small man, the power of all of us combined together, standing forward, and we are the defining power. We are the deciding vote, effectively. This is about sheer force of numbers, right? That's the feeling that I get from this. So the Destiny card, being the Magician, is about where we have power. It's about where everybody on the ground has the ability to speak up, to stand up and be counted. It's about manifesting things. It's about communication, and it also talks very much, you're going to hear a lot from CEOs this week. Your heads of companies, CEOs, people that run big corporations, people that are politicians, all of that. You're going to be hearing a lot from these people this week, and it's going to be a lot of the people at the top. I believe this is going to be the week where we see lines drawn, right? I really get this feeling that this week we are going to see a lot of people stepping forward and saying, right, you know what, the public say they want this, and I'm actually aligned to that school of thought. This is where you're going to get the not the battle lines, but this will be where people start to, this will be the week where people start to choose, right? And it looks like the smart money is on what the people want, right? So if you are in any position of power and you're watching this, vote with the people, and you will not be going against the tide, is what I want to say to you. You'll be going in the right direction. The other thing with the Magician card as well, it represents the planet Mercury. So it's all about communication. It's about speaking. It's about the internet, writing, books, public speaking. You're going to get a lot of people being very outspoken about what their opinions are this week, and those opinions are very likely going to coincide with what the masses want, with what the people want. I feel like a lot of celebrities are going to weigh in on some of the wider world stage issues this week. So on a microcosmic level, for each and every one of us on a personal note, what does this mean? Well, the Magician card says, where do you have power, and what are you doing with that? What is it that you are manifesting at the moment, and are you utilizing your wand, your willpower, in the way that is best for you? Are you taking that on board? Are you really acknowledging how much power you have in any given situation? Are you acknowledging the fact that you get to choose? Are you acknowledging the fact that you already have enough knowledge? This is about standing firm in your power and understanding what your beliefs are this week. You know, I really feel that, and for a lot of us, this is going to see us in some way, shape or form gaining recognition. All of us, in whatever your field of work is, whatever your family dynamic, you know, across the board, in some way, shape or form, everyone this week will have a moment where they are viewed or seen in the best light that they possibly can be. This is about, the magician reaches the highest peaks, right? Which is why I talked about CEOs and celebrities and politicians. The magician always represents people that are at the height of their game or at the peak. They're at the pinnacle, right? So this week, all of us on a personal level on the ground, we get some kind of recognition for what we do, for who we are, and ultimately what we know that only we know, that only we have been able to present in that way, right? So get ready for your time. You know, I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's have a look at the direction. How does this shape up? What is the context? What is it that fleshes it out? You've got the King of Wands, right? So this really is about being out there. It's about being on stage. It's about being seen. It's about being heard. The characteristics of the King of Wands: fun, vibrant, feisty, ready to go to war. Don't forget, the King of Wands is, he's like a mini emperor, right? The emperor represents Aries, but he's on his throne. He will get up and he will go to war for whatever it is that he wants, for whatever it is that he needs. But ultimately, the thing that I always say about the Wands cards, especially the court cards, they say what they mean and they mean what they say. Fire doesn't say, you know, because they represent the epitome of fire. Fire doesn't say, oh, well, you know, I'll burn a little bit bright, I'll burn a little bit hot. So, you know, some people can touch me, but some people can't. It's bollocks, right? Fire is fire. If you touch it, it will burn you. If you harness it, it will cook your food. It will keep your, you know, it will purify things around you. All that sort of stuff. So in this way, this really sees that energy coming through again of people going to war for what they believe in. And this isn't necessarily about an actual war, although, you know, it certainly is possible if we get a clash of wills going on somewhere. Now, with the King of Wands, this is about what is right, what is just, what is fair, right? This is about getting behind things that you genuinely believe in, getting behind something that really speaks to the core of who you are. That's the thing about the Wands cards. And the King of Wands, fun, vibrant, feisty, has a tremendous sense of humour, a really good sense of how to be a big kid. That is, as one of his amazing traits, is also one of his drawbacks. So the way that this could play out is, you know, for some people, they're just pushing it too far, right? Or on the other end, it could be that people are trying to inject humour, to not take life and themselves too seriously, to remind other people not to do that as well. I feel like we're going to get a paradox this week. You're going to get a whole bunch of people that are like, hey, you know what, let's keep the vibe light, let's keep it happy, you know, enjoyable, funny, all the rest of it, maybe even a bit satirical if we need to. There's going to be a lot of satire that's put forward, and I kind of feel like there's going to be this undertone this week, because that's something that we haven't actually had. Something that we really haven't seen in the media of a lot of late is satire, right? And satire only really comes out in the really dark or heavy times. And to be honest with you, with the Saturn and Pluto conjunction that's taking place in Capricorn, they're both now retrograde, I feel like we're going to get this injection of, you know what, it's all just a big fucking joke, right? It really is. You have to laugh at it, because otherwise it will stress you out and it will make you really unhappy. So the direction with the King of Wands is through this sort of almost dark sense of humour, right? But this sort of witty banter kind of humour, because the Magician is words, it's power, it's spells, it's how can I put a spin on this? I'm not going to dilute the truth, but I'm going to put it forward in a way that everybody can understand, you know, and I kind of feel like a lot of celebrities are going to weigh in on a lot of the political issues that we're facing at the moment. And I feel like it's going to come through this sort of almost comedic sort of feel, right? You're going to see a lot of celebrities are going to speak up this week. I don't know why, but I've got this feeling that a lot of them are going to be very, very vocal about the things that they're seeing, what they agree with and what they don't. Also about the direction, what are you prepared to go to war for? Are you just talking crap and saying, well, I don't agree with that, and you pipe up a little bit and then you go back to your own corner and kind of sit there and just sulk? Or are you going to go the whole hog? That's the thing about the King of Wands. Fire, like I said, it burns. It doesn't sit back and say, well, I'll only burn a little bit. I'll only shine a little bit. It does what it does, right? So the direction is basically saying to you, this week you need to make a choice. If you're going to speak up, you've got to speak up and you've got to go the whole hog. If you are not going to speak up, it's kind of like that thing, like if you don't vote, don't complain about the result, right? You know, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. It's all that kind of energy coming through. So the direction is saying, keep it fun, keep it vibrant, keep it light, but reaffirm your boundaries. Do not allow anyone to try to make you shrink back or pull yourself back from being who you truly are in any way, shape or form. So that's the world stage I've talked about a lot there, and also on the, you know, the personal level. So let's have a look at the insight. What's going on the insightful level, right? Oh, okay, so we've had a card jump out. Let's have a look, see. And the card that jumped out is the Knight of Cups, right? So there's going to be a lot of negotiating going on this week, right? The Knight of Cups is something that brings an offer. But with the cards that we've already seen out, this is about negotiations. There's going to be a lot of that feeling going around, right? And I don't want to scare people, and I don't want to be a fearmongerer and a, you know, oh, well, it just seems a lot happier than it is. I don't want to do that. But I also do want to be realistic with people, and I want people to know that, you know, it's not going to be as bad. There is going to be a lot of humour. There are going to be some light moments to this week as well, absolutely. I feel like there will be lots of pockets of opportunity for people to offer support to one another. Right, I feel like there's going to be a reconciliation between groups that seem to not be able to be reconciled as well. I feel like we'll see a lot of that this week. But with the Knight of Cups, it's also saying, because sometimes what's offered or what's presented isn't necessarily what you actually get. So you're being asked this week to look beneath the surface. You're being asked this week to say, okay, that's great, fantastic, what an amazing offer. I'm super, super grateful. Well, now that I've had that offer come in, let me pick it apart. Let me see what it actually entails. What is it that, you know, you're offering me this? We all know nothing comes for free. So let me see what it is that you're asking for in return. And if I feel that's a fair recompense, right? So the insight card with the Knight of Cups is basically saying, you know what, whatever offers and opportunities come this week, whatever negotiations are put forward, I'm open to them. But if they're not right, I'm going to say my piece. I'm going to stand firm. I'm going to reaffirm my boundaries and say, thank you for the offer. Thank you for choosing to negotiate. Thank you for choosing to be open to dialogue, the Magician, communication, right? But that doesn't work for me. It doesn't align with my values. It doesn't make me feel like something I want to align myself with. The King of Wands, right? So it's going to be a really interesting week. I feel like as well, this is going to be a week where people want to see action. You know, it doesn't matter how pretty the words are, it doesn't matter how many people are saying this or, you know, giving grand speeches and all the rest of it. This is going to be a week where people want action, right? That's on the macrocosmic level, in the world stage, but it's also on a personal level. On a personal level, the Knight of Cups with the insight suggests that a lot of us could be meeting people that really change the dynamic of our lives. For some of us, we're meeting somebody that is a person of power, right? So the Magician card, somebody at the peak of their game. With the King of Wands, this is somebody that's like a performer, a writer, an influencer. It could be somebody that just has that thing, you know, like that pizzazz, somebody that really somebody that packs a punch, right? Whether it's political weight, whether it is somebody that's got, you know, millions of followers on Instagram or Facebook or any of that sort of stuff. But this is talking about, you know, a lot of us are getting an offer or a connection come in with somebody that could take or further your goals or your means or your dreams, right? Be open to it, absolutely be open to it, but just be astute, right? Open up the dialogue, let it be there, make wise decisions, you know, be open to talking and choosing. But if it doesn't work for you, do the King of Wands, right? If it doesn't work for you, your direction is to say thank you for all of that. I'm truly, truly grateful, and it seems like a really good offer. But now that I've broken it down into its separate components, it doesn't fit for what I want, for what I need, or where I envision myself going forward from here. Right, so lots and lots to think about there. This is a really long video, I know, but yeah, enjoy it. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments what you think, how it shapes up, how it works for you on a personal level, what you see in the world that correlates to this. I'm really, really enjoying doing these overviews, and I didn't expect them to be loved this much. So truly, thank you. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you soon.